Hey guys, my name is Natalia Caston and welcome to my channel. Today I thought it would be a good idea to talk to you guys about my first year experience because I know a lot of you just got your results and possibly know which unis you're going to, and if you're going to Loughborough University in particular, this might be super helpful as like feedback for what my first year was like. Obviously circumstances are going to be a little bit different this year, but hopefully you guys will still get the same amazing experience that I got. So I thought I would separate this video into quite a few categories and then rate each of these categories and then give you an overall rating of what I thought my first year was in some ways. So the first category I have is the move-in process. Personally, I didn't love the move-in process. Just I'm an international student, so it's always a little bit more complicated just because I have to fly in, I have to bring luggage, I then have to buy everything firsthand, and I'll do a whole other video on tips for international students going to Loughborough or going to the UK for uni in general. But all that to say is that I didn't enjoy it that much just because, I mean, the people there were super nice, they were super helpful in making sure that we get all our belongings to our room. Usually these are second year returners or just fresher helpers who usually are second or third year returners, and I don't know, they were super helpful, super nice, and I think the only thing I would say that kind of made my experience less good was that I had to go all the way into town and back at least 3 or 4 times to get a whole lot of stuff for my room because I didn't have any duvet covers and all that stuff because I chose to buy them on the spot rather than bring them all the way from Hong Kong. So that was like the one inconvenience, and especially since the bus is kind of expensive. I mean, if you have a car then it's fine, but if you're taking the bus like 3-4 times, so it can get a little bit frustrating. But I mean, overall the university experience of my move-in was not bad. I loved it. I think it took me 2 days to get my room kind of fully complete. So it's pretty nice. And town isn't that far, so if you do have a car, it's definitely easier, especially if you already live in the UK. If you don't and you're with your parents, definitely I recommend like maybe getting a car for a day or two because that would really make it a lot easier and smoother. So my overall rating was like a 7 out of 10 because it could have been better, but it was pretty good. Next one is freshers, like how did I like freshers week and all that stuff. And personally I really enjoyed freshers week. It was really nice. I think I got the opportunity to meet quite a lot of people, which was really good. And especially from your halls, you definitely have like a lot of hall spirit. You get to meet all the people that are obviously fresher helpers, but also people from other universities. You get to experience a lot of the clubs in Loughborough town as well as the students union. So overall I found it was really good. Obviously it's not the best going out experiences that you're gonna have throughout the year, but as a starter I would say it wasn't too bad. So I rated it at 8 out of 10. Next section was accommodation, and so my accommodation, I think I've talked about this before, but I definitely enjoyed my room so much. Like I loved it. It was pretty big in my opinion, and I could fit literally everything, and I never felt constrained or in like a room that was too small, which I think is what I thought I would feel like when coming to Loughborough. So I was really happy about that. I definitely loved being in my room. I loved being in my bed. I was in David Collett. I had a shared bathroom, which to me was fine. I'll keep saying this over and over again, so I'm sorry if I have to repeat it, but I genuinely think that shared bathrooms are not so bad. So if I can recommend them to you, I would, just because it's an experience that you're gonna have to have at some point in your life anyway, so might as well have it in university when you're getting used to new things than much later down the road and having to learn how to cope with other people. So I don't know, I enjoyed my hall a lot. I think the only downsides would be like the hall spirit wasn't always great, and going out with the hall, especially during freshers week, sometimes would be a little bit flat, like just a little bit. I love the location of my hall. My hall is like right next to the library, so it made me going to classes so much easier. Like it was literally 5-10 minutes, and if we could catch the bus, like if it just happened to go by, you know, we would get on, and that made it even faster. Not that we're lazy or anything, but like it's free and it's there, so why not take it? What else did I not enjoy about my hall? I don't know. The food. Gosh, I was catered and I hated the food. Like I just felt like it was an extra expense that I did not want to be paying just because I didn't enjoy it, I didn't eat it. I just felt like it was very greasy, it was very fattening, and I don't know, it's just a horror story. And even like the things that were meant to be healthy, like vegetables, just weren't cooked right. They were just boiled plain vegetables with like no seasoning whatsoever, so it was just like boiled in water and then served to you, and I just I feel like that did not promote my ideal scenario of, I thought going into it that it would be a lot of healthy foods and so I would be able to take care of myself better, and instead I gained a couple pounds because I was cooking my own food and I was too lazy to do anything and took the pasta. Yeah, so personally I didn't love the food, so overall I gave my accommodation an 8 out of 10. Next category was semester 1 classes. I genuinely loved a lot of it just because it was my first introduction to psychology and I'd never taken it before, and this really just made me realize why I took this class, why I enjoyed it so much. And I don't know, I really did enjoy my semester 1 classes. I got my 2 optionals in my first semester, so I took 7 modules instead of 6 and 6, so 7 and 5. So my semester 1 did have a lot more modules and therefore it was a lot heavier, I would say. My second semester was a lot lighter. So I don't think I had any days off, which I didn't mind it that much, but I know a lot of my other friends did have days off, so I guess it would have been nice to have a day off, but I don't know. I didn't mind it too much just because they weren't long hours. You get approximately 12 hours a week of classes, so it's really not that bad. And yeah, I just loved my classes. If you guys want to go check out which modules I had, definitely go check my reacting to my results video, because I go through all the modules I go from semester 1 and semester 2 and how the exams were or coursework and whether I enjoyed it or not. But anyways, overall for semester 1, I would say I would give it like an 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10, sorry. Looked at the wrong one there. I would give it like a 9 out of 10 just because I definitely enjoyed a lot of it. There were only 1 or 2 classes that I really didn't like, and that was mostly because of the professor rather than the actual subject. So yeah, I don't know. I had a pretty good first semester for sure. Then the next thing I added was exams/coursework for semester 1. And so I'm gonna first talk about coursework because that's the first thing I got done. I was very stressed when I had to hand in my first coursework. We did have to give like a sort of, it's like a first draft. Yeah, you had to give in a first draft that was about like 500 words. So that was so helpful and able to give us like feedback on what the rest of the essay would end up looking like. I think our essay was 1,500 words or 2,000 words, something along those lines. So I would just say that basically it helped a lot in helping me get some sort of guidance towards getting a good grade, because I already had some feedback on the first 500 words of my coursework. So overall I got a pretty good grade about that and I was happy.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Okay, sorry guys, I had a brief intermission there, kind of lost the track of what I was saying, but I think I was saying along the lines of like, I'm happy that we had a first draft to give in for our coursework, and that helped us down the line for our bigger coursework. So that was the first coursework I had, and the second one I had was I think like due 1 week before the exams, and so that one I literally just hurried up as fast as I could. I didn't really understand it as much, so I didn't do as well. So that one I would say was a lot harder because I feel like the guidance for it was just not as good for, I don't know. And then in terms of exams, that semester I had 5 exams, so that was actually quite a lot, and it was definitely stressful. I definitely got a little bit burnt out. I don't know, it was okay. I don't think it was that bad. I think it was definitely hard. It was meant to be hard. It wasn't meant to be easy, but it wasn't impossibly hard. So I felt like if you did the work, you would have gotten the grades. And I felt like considering the work I put in, I'm very proud of the grades that I got, and considering as well the difficulty. Some were more difficult than others, but I think in general, I was pretty happy overall with how it went. It wasn't that bad. So I would give my exams coursework like an 8 out of 10. So my semester 2 classes, I definitely had a lot less classes, and yeah, I only have 5. So it wasn't that bad. I had 1 day off, so that was pretty cool. But I did only have like the required modules. I didn't have any optionals, so I felt like that was a little bit constricting in terms of like whether I was really interested in every class that I had. I definitely preferred semester 1 than semester 2. But yeah, I think that just is kind of like a reflection of the fact that I didn't really have a semester 2. It kind of got cut after like 2 months, not even. So I don't know, I would just say that because of that, my semester 2 classes or modules, I can't give it a fair rating just because I wasn't in class for most of them. So I gave it like a 7 out of 10, just like considering COVID-19 and everything as well. So next one, like therefore like the online exams and coursework. And so yeah, I don't know, I obviously all the coursework I did when I was in Hong Kong already, so that was a lot, just because we got a little bit of guidance in the beginning that kind of explained very quickly what the coursework was going to be and what the exams are going to be on and stuff like that. But I think you don't get the same experiences when you're in class. Obviously, I still got it done, and I think I still got pretty decent grades for most of them. So I was happy with a lot of the grades that I got in my second semester, because it definitely got me like a first overall, and I think I did better in my second semester than I did my first. So there's that. And then there's also the fact that like when you're doing online exams, that it is open book, so that makes it a lot easier than if you were to take the exam in person on paper, because obviously that's a lot more stressful and you don't have the answers available to you. Now, the only thing that I would say is like a downside of like the online exams would be that you have like the same time limit, and that can be a little bit complicated when you're online, just because when you're changing pages and stuff like that, and if you don't have the best connection, that can be pretty shit. But overall, I felt like the teachers that I had were pretty lenient about that and gave extra time if you had a very slow Wi-Fi. So I don't know, I would just say that it's definitely good to consider that aspect of online exams. I think that will be mostly helpful to those of you coming in, but the rating I was giving for that is a 7 out of 10 as well, just because of that. But it wasn't the worst experience ever. Obviously, there are upsides and downsides to having online exams and coursework away from your teacher. Also, I want to say as well, all the teachers were really helpful in answering all the questions that everybody had, so that was really cool. They were really receptive during both the holidays and the exams. Next category is partying and nights out. I know this one is definitely important for some of you. So in terms of partying and nights out, I would say that I enjoy Loughborough so much. I think I only started getting into Loughborough town towards the end of the year, and I say end, but I mean like that was technically the middle of the year, just because again got cut short because of Corona. But I don't know, overall I would definitely say that I love partying in Loughborough. The nights out are amazing, whether you go to the Students' Union, which is always a blast and so easy to get in. But yeah, the Union was amazing. Going out into town was also pretty fun, and it's usually not that expensive, and depending on where you go, you immediately get to put away your coat at the same time, because let's not forget Loughborough is like cold pretty much all of the year, at least when I was there. And coats as well, when you go into the Students' Union, I think is only £1. So that was pretty nice. Overall, I would give my partying nights out like a solid 10 out of 10. Amazing. Prices for drinks as well are not too crazy. Definitely prees before you go out for sure, because that makes your night so much simpler. You pay a lot less than if you go out to the Union and get a shit ton of drinks. Easily you can spend 15 and 20 pounds in one night, so definitely drink before, and then that way when you get to Union you pay a lot less, if anything. Just saying. Next one is the sports facilities. So I genuinely loved all the sports facilities. Obviously I didn't use all of them. I never went into the pool. I really wanted to, but I didn't. I used Holywell Gym, and that one was really nice. Like, it was great in terms of the facilities. It makes you actually want to work out, and it was so close to where I was as well. It was a little bit pricey for the year, but I mean, and I didn't even get to use it the full year. Yeah, now that I'm realizing it, it kind of pisses me off how much I paid. But overall, I would have to say, like, again, this was an amazing gym. Like, there's nothing I can fault it for, and a lot of the facilities that you get, whether that's badminton, whether that's tennis and stuff like that, are mostly like state-of-the-art, great, amazing, exquisite, all that stuff. So I would definitely say I have nothing really to say badly of these gyms. So 10 out of 10 for my sports facility rating. Next one is societies. So I didn't actually take part in a lot of societies, just because, yeah, I don't know why. I was in the French Society and they did not do a lot. Like, I think they organized 3 or 4 events in the time that I was there, and every single time it was on a freaking Thursday, and Thursdays I had volleyball training, so there was literally nothing that I could do in the French Society, so that sucked. And then I wanted to be part of the German Society, but then I couldn't find the money to pay for them, so I never actually like got into the society, so that sucked as well. So I don't know, overall my society experience was not great, but this year I'm going to be a rep for L'Afrique Society, which is like a francophone Afro-Caribbean society, so definitely go check it out if you're interested in that. But yeah, so my experience with societies was 6 out of 10. Next year is probably going to be a lot better, just because I'm going to be a rep now and I'm doing social media, so go check our social media out. I'll link it below. And yeah, but that was just my experience. A lot of people probably have a lot better experiences with their societies and stuff like that, but mine was a 6 out of 10. Last rating, finally, is food, restaurants, and groceries. So when it comes to food in Loughborough, I would say that you're not that limited. Only critique is that I love Indian food, and personally the Indian food that I had there was not amazing, so I definitely have to fault them for that. I'm still salty. You have a few options in town. It's not like the widest range, but you definitely have options. They're all pretty good. All of them at decent prices. It really depends on where you go, but I would say that it's not crazy expensive. It's basically what you would expect, so between like 15 and 20 pounds for eating out. So I would say that's pretty normal. In terms of groceries, it really depends on where you go. If you go to Sainsbury's, I think that's the most expensive. Tesco might be slightly cheaper. And then we have Lidl, which is the cheapest option. I haven't shopped at Lidl yet, but next year, well, this coming year, I'll be living right next to Lidl, so I'll be able to shop and spend a lot less money on groceries, because I think I was spending around 40 pounds just because I had it delivered. I was so like not bothered to go all the way into town and bring bags of groceries in. Like I used to do that in the first few months, and then I was like, you can just deliver and you just have to pay 40 pounds and you have free delivery. And that was for Sainsbury's. That was expensive. Then I think I switched to Tesco, and yes, some good things and then some not. It really just depends. If you can, I would definitely go to Lidl. I hear there are 10-pound mirrors, so that's where I'm gonna be buying my mirror next year. I keep saying next year, that's literally in a couple months. Like, that's crazy to think about, but summer holidays are almost over, but I'm so excited to get back to Loughborough. Yeah, so I would say definitely like 7 out of 10, because it's not the best, but you can make do with what's there. I think my overall rating for my first year experience would have to be like a solid 9 out of 10, just because I loved so many things that I just would never change. Obviously, another very important thing that I would add in here would be like obviously like networks in terms of friends and stuff like that, and that is a solid 10 out of 10. I've made some of the best friends, and I'm going to be living with a lot of great people next year. I've made so many friends in my hall as well and in my psychology classes, so I would definitely say that has also very much influenced the whole of my year more than anything else, just because obviously a lot of it got, again, cut short by COVID-19. But I don't know, overall I'm so happy in my first year. There's really not that much I would change, just because I've learned so much. Sorry, the camera just stopped filming. But yeah, all I was saying was that I love my first year experience. There's not much I would change from it, and that I just learned so much. So definitely give a like if you want a video of me talking about the different halls, what I think about them, which I would recommend and stuff like that. But yeah, go like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you like this, or if you want to suggest other content, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!